You know you've got a comeback in you. When you take the next step, you're going to make it count. For your career, for your family, for your life. You can earn a degree you're proud of with Purdue Global. Purdue Global is backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected and innovative public universities. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your comeback. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Hi, friend. It's your inner child calling. And they want churros. A new toy. And a new adventure. Or maybe 5. With the bestest besties on Earth. Find your moment at Walt Disney World Resort.
Hello, my name is Aaliyah Yates. I'm a producer at Wonder Media Network, and I'm excited to be guest hosting this episode of Womanica. This month, we're diving into the divas of history, examining how the label has been used from many angles, whether describing women pejoratively or with admiration. Today's Womanican was a living work of art with a taste for the occult. Her 6-foot stature, coal-blackened eyes, and powdered pale skin signaled her enigmatic presence. Whether it was her necklace made of live snakes or peacock headdress decorated with the blood of freshly slaughtered chickens, she both confused and captivated onlookers. Was she a vampire? A goddess? A woman gone mad? Let's talk about the priestess of fashion, Luisa Casati. Luisa was born in 1881 into Milan high society. Her father was a successful, self-made textile magnate who was friendly with the King of Italy. Luisa grew up in her older sister's shadow and, as an introvert, didn't attract much attention. Then, when Luisa and her sister were just teenagers, both of their parents died, making them the 2 wealthiest women in Italy. Soon thereafter, Luisa married the son of a noble family, Marquess Camillo Casati. For the first few years of their marriage, Luisa, as a newly minted Marquesa, kept a low profile. However, when she was 22 years old, she began a passionate affair with a man named Gabriele D'Annunzio. Gabriele was a flamboyant writer, warrior, and spiritualist who was constantly on the run from the many people he owed money to. Although neither Luisa or Gabriele were in a position to get married, they were undeniably attached. In Gabriele's affection and the chaos of their relationship, Luisa's style evolved. She opted to reject the mundane and instead found herself drawn to eclectic fashion and non-traditional ways of life. Luisa's husband tried to ignore her caustic affair with Gabriele for many years. What he couldn't ignore was his wife's extremely expensive and strange taste. In 1914, Luisa separated from her husband to spend her money freely. Luisa took up residence in Venice at an unfinished palace on the Grand Canal. Luisa decorated her mansion with rare gemstones and Egyptian statues. Exotic animals like cheetahs, lion cubs, and monkeys roamed the premises. A parrot that murmured obscenities lurked in the hallways. Luisa herself often toted around a glass case with a boa constrictor inside. None of this came cheap. Luisa spent as much on a jewel-encrusted gown and headdress as J.P. Morgan paid for the custom fitting of his Rolls Royce. In her extravagant abode, Luisa would throw equally extravagant parties. She had a flock of tame albino blackbirds, each dyed different colors to match the themes of the event she hosted. She also commissioned high-profile costume designers to create her outfits for these affairs. One of the most notable was a dress made of tiny electric light bulbs that accidentally short-circuited and gave the Marquesa such a powerful shock that she did a backward somersault. Luisa was physically very striking, and as she came into her own, she would use makeup and clothes to enhance her arresting features. She dabbled white powder all over her sharp, long face and dyed her hair a fiery orange color. Luisa blackened her eyes with kohl or black ink, topping the look off with fake eyelashes and strips of black velvet on her lids. Allegedly, she walked the streets of Venice at night with her pet cheetahs, naked, under nothing but a fur cloak. Luisa also had a strange obsession with creating wax replicas of herself, including one that was life-size and donned a wig made from Luisa's real hair. Luisa would often sit the mannequin at the table during her candlelit dinner parties and make the guests figure out who was the real Luisa. She also liked to dress her footmen in 17th century garb and make them throw copper fillings into the fireplace so that the flames burned a bright emerald green. Luisa's eccentricisms extended beyond the contours of the physical world. She was also fascinated by spiritualism. Much like a ghost or a spirit, her own life is shrouded in myth and mystery. Rumors about her ran rampant in local gossip columns, and it is likely that she encouraged these urban legends in an effort to enhance her own mystique. For Luisa, she saw her life as a choreographed performance and her body as a, quote, living work of art. In many ways, Luisa was a living embodiment of early modernism and some of the artistic movements it produced, like surrealism, cubism, and futurism. Even though some of Luisa's attempts at creating art were quite literally short-circuited, her influence on the artistic community was far-reaching. Many artists of the time saw her as a muse and codified her image in their own portraits and sculptures. In the 1930s, Luisa's good fortune took a turn for the worse. All of her spending had racked up many millions in debt. The Wall Street crash and resulting depression forced Luisa to sell off all of her assets. After falling into bankruptcy, she moved into a small, one-bedroom apartment in London. Luisa sent a telegram to Gabriele begging him to wire her money. But he never responded. In her small flat, she continued hosting a limited number of visitors, conducting seances, and casting spells on her enemies. Throughout her life, Luisa played by her own visual, emotional, and social rules. Her wealth allowed her to capitalize on the societal changes happening at the end of the 19th and early 20th century. Her life and work still inspire collections from brands like Dior, Chanel, and Alexander McQueen. In 1957, Luisa died of a stroke at the age of 76. She was buried with her embalmed Pekingese dog and a pair of false eyelashes. All month, we're talking about divas. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcasts. Thanks to co-creators Jenny and Liz Kaplan for letting me sit in. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
Residents at Brightview Senior Living Communities enjoy enhanced possibilities, independence, and choice. Brightview Dulles Corner in Herndon and Brightview, Great Falls, offer vibrant senior independent living, assisted living, and memory care services through various daily programs and cultural events. Chef-prepared meals, safety and security, transportation, resort-style amenities, and high-quality care. Everything you need is here. Discover more at brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal housing opportunity.
Do you want to see into the future? Do you want to understand an invisible force that's shaping your life? Do you want to experience the frontiers of what makes us human? On Tech Stuff, we travel from the mines of Congo to the surface of Mars, from conversations with Nobel Prize winners to the depths of TikTok, to ask burning questions about technology, from high-tech to low culture and everywhere in between. Join us. Listen to Tech Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.